Okay. Hello? Hello. Hello, hatchlings. We're playing Danganronpa again. It's been a long time since I played this, so I'll get confused a lot. And from what we've seen in my lost race, I'm not very smart. Wait.
Hey.
What do you mean? You're thinking of putting someone on guard duty so no one can disturb the air, aren't you? After all, if the covert decides to destroy the evidence, we're pretty much screwed.
Hey.
In that case, I don't mind doing it. I don't like having to think anyway. I'll let you guys figure out who killed that chick. Okay, then can we let Mundo look after this? Oh no, we can't just leave him alone.
What?
What? Why the hell not? Remember, I'm not doing any voices because not only are there's already voice acting in this game, so it'll be weird if I'm doing the voices. And also there's so much characters and I can only do so much. Like my voice and my voice. But yeah. So I'm just using my regular voice when I'm reading these lines. Isn't it obvious? If you were a covert, what's the first thing you would do? By volunteering for guard duty, you're in a position to destroy all the evidence you want. Well, F you.
So then.
Fine then. I'll stay on guard duty as well. That way there's no problem. Two-player co-op base defense with two of them. With their stats are pretty OP. Since we won't be able to help investigate, we're putting our faith in the rest of you.
But
I'm still pretty freaked out, but I'll try. I gently placed my hand on Junko's body. I touched her wrist to check for a pulse like they do in movies and stuff, but she's really dead. There wasn't anything else to say. She was gone. And we ran into that problem again. Looping audio. Speaking of the audio, I think the audio is pretty loud. Like, really loud. I don't know why you bothered to check after those injuries and losing that much blood. Frankly, I'd be shocked if she did survive something like that. Huh? Hold on. Just wait a second. She's dead? Then that means...
What?
That means everything that's happened so far is real. It's not a joke or whatever. It's really real.
Let me out of here!
I know, someone save me, let me out of here. Somebody help me. I almost read that as somebody once told me.
what's your problem?
You're just now accepting that?
What should I do?
Someone got right in front of us. Hifumi. Consciousness has crashed. Resetting now. Please wait a moment. Sakura. We can't run away from the situation, so we have no choice but to move forward.
Let me out of here!
Come on, man. Let me out of here. Come on, someone let me out.
Huh?
Is this really happening?
Don't fuck with me.
Screw that piece of shit, bear.
Oh,
So you finally
What the
noticed.
crap?
Huh? Noticed what? I was looking through the Monokuma file we received, and I I noticed something very obvious and very unusual.
Huh?
Huh? What are you talking about? Go ahead, take a look. Notice anything interesting about where Sayaka died? She died in Makoto's room.
Ah!
Oh, she's right.
Eh?
It could be. All at once, everyone's gaze turned to me. Hold on a second, you got it all wrong. For just one night, I traded rooms with her. I did it because she was afraid. You expect us to believe that? Just tell us the truth. The look in everyone's eyes had done a complete 180 from just a few minutes earlier. The feeling of suspicion and fear had returned. In other words, you think I did it?
So then,
Are we all done talking? We need to begin our investigations soon. At this point, we should split up. We need to get to the bottom of this and find out who killed Sayaka. We'll have to collect clues to form a foundation, then construct an argument to come to a final decision. If we get this wrong,
So,
well, do I really have to say anymore?
actually,
I'd rather you don't, no?
goodbye.
Everyone, pray for good luck. With that, Kyoko hurried out of the gym.
Goodbye.
I'll be going too. And just like that, Kyoko, and just like Kyoko, he was gone before we realized it.
Yo.
Oh yeah, I'm on guard duty, huh? I'd better head out to the scene of the crime. That's right.
Hey, damn it.
Let me just say this right now. If whatever son of a bitch did this is here now, and they're thinking of destroying that evidence,
You're fucking dead.
they better not find him. Oh, they better not let me find him. I'll skip the trial and cave their goddamn skull in myself. I'm serious, I will rock them up. Letting his deadly words hang in the air, he and Sakura run off.
so,
I mean, we're not detectives or anything, you know? And we're gonna investigate a murder. How do you even do something like that?
anyway,
We don't really have to do anything in particular. We already know who killed Sayaka. What are you implying?
this is very suspicious.
It was you. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. Don't come closer. Are you gonna kill me next?
So,
Well, I guess it wouldn't hurt to give it a shot. It's not for sure that Makoto is guilty yet. That's true. We may as well at least check. Just check. I cannot read today. Even if we wanted to investigate, even if I wanted to, I couldn't help investigate. Why not? I'm not good with blood. All it takes is one glimpse and I black out.
Oh yeah?
Well, whatever. I don't think anyone was expecting much from you anyways. Alright, I guess I better get going. Wait, don't go yet. You have to hear me out. It was pointless. Everyone had left. And their parting looks at me had still been filled with suspicion. Does everyone really think I'm the killer? How did it turn out like this? Seriously, they've got it all wrong. Why did they have to suspect me? I mean, it is your room, Makoto. I have to do something. Otherwise, everyone will...
Execution is execution. Execution! Electric chair. Bzz, bzz, poison gas. Torn apart like a paper plane in a hurricane.
I can't let that happen. I can't let things turn out the way Monokuma wants. All I have to do is find out who really did it. Who really killed Sayaka. Investigation. I guess I should take a look through the Monokuma files we got before. The victim was Sayaka Maizono. The time of death is estimated to be around 1:30 a.m. The body was discovered in Makoto's room in the dormitory. All evidence suggests that the death took place in the bathroom. The cause of death was a stab wound to the abdomen. There was also an injury to her right wrist. Specifically, the wrist appears to have suffered a fracture. We have no choice but to push forward if we want to find out what happened. Anyhow, I have to find out the truth so that we can all survive. And for Sayaka, I have to find out how she was killed. Nice. Monokuma file has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Okay, how do I open up? Okay, observation. Okay. Looks like an egg. Leave the gym, yes. Inside the display case are trophies and other items. Yes. First of all, I have to head to the scene of the crime, my room. We won't make any progress without investigating there. So I headed to my room where Sayaka's corpse still remained. Hello! How are you? I'd better examine the state of my room a little closer. That might reveal something new. There's a key on the ground. It has my name on it, so this must be my room key. If I remember correctly. Ah, that's good. That's right. We'll have to trade keys. But we switch rooms, we switch keys too. Thank you for stating the obvious, Makoto. So, Sayaka would have... you had to wake up... You're in a hotel? Huh. I haven't been in a hotel in years. So Sayaka would have had the key. Here in my room the entire time. But wait, if that's true then, how did the killer get into the room in the first place? Could Sayaka have forgotten to lock the door? No, that seems impossible. The same goes for you. This is the first time. The same goes for you, Sayaka. No matter who it is, don't open your door for anyone. Even if I'm sure it's you, I absolutely won't open it. Otherwise, what's the point of even switching? After saying that, there's no way she would have forgotten to lock it or open it for any reason. Well, maybe she dropped the key somewhere and someone else grabbed it or something. No, that's not possible either. Sayaka was in here when we switched rooms. And with how scared she was, she wouldn't have gone walking around, so she couldn't have dropped it. So how did the killer... Nice. This is the replica sword I brought back for self-defense. Does this mean it was used in the attack somehow? And plus, it's been taken out of its sheath. I hadn't actually looked at the blade itself till now. I shouldn't be surprised it's coated in gold too. On top of that, some of the gold coating has come off of the parts of the blade and the handle. And the handle especially is missing a lot of its coating. I remember the coating sticks to you even if you just touch it a little bit. Okay. Huh, look, it's the lint roller. Looks like there's way less than there was before. Did Saika see how dirty my room was inside to clean up a little? This is the replica soda I brought back for self-defense. Is this me? It was a repeat. And plus, the sword's been taken out. So it's just this... I can't speak. Sheath, but... Huh? There's some scratches on the sheath. They must have been made with something sharp. But how did the sheath get scratched up in the first place? Even if someone used the sword during the struggle, it doesn't make sense for the sheath to be damaged. I mean, if you're gonna attack someone with a sword, the first thing you do is unsheath it. A heavy sheath like this will only get in the way. It could have just slid off during the fight. Just slide off during the middle of the fight. So why are there scratches on the sheath? There are scratches and gorges on the walls and bed. On my walls and bed. Is that evidence of a struggle? It looks like there must have been some sort of... I should turn on the volume. It's very distracting me. I'll do it later. It looks like there must have been some kind of fight in my room. Damn it. I was right there in the other room. If only I'd heard something.
Wait.
That would not have been possible. Huh? Well, you remember? All our rooms are completely soundproof. So something could have happened in the room right next to you. And there's no way you could have known.
Well.
Perhaps this was another of Monokune's strategies, creating an ideal setting for murder. Evidence of struggle. I should look around here first. I can check out other spots later. Oops. Sakura, do you think I'm guilty too?
Hey!
I try not to make assumptions like that. I simply don't know whether or not you did this. Whatever decision the rest of you come up with, I will follow your lead. I see. The toolkit is still inside the drawer. I don't see any evidence that it's been used at all. Which makes sense, I guess. I mean, it's mine, and I haven't had any reason to open it. I can't even imagine a situation where I need a toolkit like this.
Yo.
Yeah, seriously. Oh, Mundo.
What? What?
We aren't exactly in the mood to be building fucking furniture, right? So you haven't used yours up either then.
What?
Not just me.
What?
Everyone's busted theirs out. Nobody's busted theirs out yet, as far as I know. Actually, we were talking about it yesterday.
By the way.
None of the guys have opened their toolkits yet, cause like, why the hell would we? Oh, it's so hot in my room. I can't turn on the fan or else my mic will catch it. There are gorges in my bed, like someone attacked it. What the hell happened here? There are scratches and gorges on the walls and bed. I already got that. And I'm repeating it.
Well.
place stand the sword was on.
By the way,
You know, I realized something while I was on guard duty. The killer could have already destroyed some evidence, right? Before anyone found the body, I mean. There's a trash room here in the dorms, right? They could have tossed some stuff in there. Yeah, that's definitely possible.
you son of a bitch!
That dirty bastard.
Shit.
Anyone who raises their hand on a woman is scum. That deserves death. That's what my brother taught me. Simp. I'm kidding. You shouldn't hurt anyone at all, to be honest. Man or woman.
You're fucking dead.
So if I ever find the son of a bitch that did this, I'm gonna pound his goddamn face in. But what if it was a girl that did it? I don't know.
Yo,
They'll get sorted out when the time comes. Oh, Kyoko, where did you come from? Hey Kyoko. I quietly called her name while she was investigating the area, but
What are you doing?
Isn't it obvious?
No, not really.
I'm searching.
CG.
Searching?
She was down on her knees, carefully inspecting every inch of my room.
Did you lose a contact or something?
I don't know what she was doing exactly, but she seems to be concentrating pretty hard on it. But a few seconds later, she suddenly stopped. She suddenly stood up. I can't read. But a few seconds later, she suddenly stood up straight and said,
Listen,
"Are you a clean freak?" No, I don't think so, but what? Nodding, she glanced around my room one more time.
I see.
Interesting. What's interesting?
Hey,
Just as I suspected, there's something very unusual about your room. Reaction. Unusual? What do you mean?
so
I've searched your room from one corner to another, and I didn't find a single strand of hair. Really?
indeed.
Not one hair from the victim and not one hair from you, even though you've been living here. In here. You know, now that you mention it, I noticed something while I was looking around before. It looked like the lint roller in my room had been used, but I never touched it. Could someone have used it too?
I see.
Very interesting. Your room doesn't have a single hair in it, and someone used your lint roller without your knowledge. In other words, someone other than you came in and scrubbed your room clean. Was it Sayaka or the killer?
Well,
That's the question, isn't it? Makoto's room's cleanliness. The bathroom. And on the other side of this door. No, I can't let it get to me. I can't afford to freeze up now. Forcing myself to push my panic down, I stepped into the bathroom. There she is. Looking at it, painfully clear, it wasn't a dream or an illusion. She had lost everything that made her, her. Sayaka. All at once. Poor Sayaka. I was overcome with dizziness, nausea, and urge to burst into tears. But I can't hesitate now. Why? Why did Sayaka have to die? That was a weird sticking of letters. I have to uncover the truth. I have to find out what happened. I wanted to give up. I wanted to collapse, but that thought held me up and supported me. Hello. I looked past Saika to the wall behind her, and there I saw 11037. What? Written in blood were the numbers 11037. But there's like a weird line between the ones. Did Saika do this? I told myself I suddenly couldn't face what I saw, but now's no time to think like that. I pulled out the Monokuma file to verify what it said about her body. Some sort of sharp object has been thrust into her stomach. That must have done the killing blow. It's called a knife. I was told by someone that even though the blood here is pink, it's just censorship. Apparently the blood is actually red, and apparently the game mentions it. But whatever they used to kill her, where'd they get it? That's definitely something I should look into later. Also, according to the Monokuma files, Saika's right wrist is broken. There's the gold stuff. Wait. The sheath is heavy, right? Could she have tried to block the sheath with her hand? Her wrist does look swollen and bloody, that's for sure. But there's something glittery there. Yeah. Canonically it's red. But there's something sort of glittery there on her wrist too. Right there, where her wrist is all swollen, there's something glittering. That definitely concerns me. Another thing that concerns me is... Huh? There's some blood on her left index finger, but that's it. The palms of her hands are totally spotless. So how come only her left finger, she wrote the numbers? The stab wound in her stomach is what killed her, so when she broke her wrist, that must have happened earlier on. I mean, how would her wrist get broken after she'd already been killed? So it's very possible she broke her wrist during the struggle. The killer attacked Saika in the main room, which is when her wrist got broken. After that, the killer cornered her in the bathroom, where they inflicted the deadly wound. ... I accidentally pressed it because I thought I was pressing the blood on the wall. Is that all? Leave the bathroom, yes.
It would seem...
It looks like you found it, right, Makoto? The bloody numbers. That's most likely Saika's dying message. I've never seen something written in blood before. It really was her final message. It's as if she wrote it with life itself.
Right.
Do you ever talk like an aspiring poet? But the numbers she wrote, what did they mean? What did the numbers mean, Mason? 11037. I have no idea what that could possibly mean.
So...
The way she wrote the number makes me think she wanted to use her body to block them. If she wrote them in that location while she was sitting the way we found her, it means she must have written them by turning only her hand toward the wall. If you were to write something in that position, do you know what the result would be? The result?
Well,
Think about it. You're not gonna tell me?
Makoto.
You need to uncover the mystery of this case yourself. You need, sorry. Otherwise, the case will end and you remain unconvicted. I have no idea what you're trying to say, but it's obvious you're not going to tell me. Nice. Die message was added to the 10th truth bullets section of your handbook. It sounds like Kyoko knows what Sayaka's die message means. But honestly, I have no idea. Oh, I know who I should talk to. When it comes to numbers, who better to ask than the ultimate programmer?
Makoto.
There's one more thing I wanted to ask you about. Do you know how the door to your bathroom got broken? Oh, you mean how it gets stuck?
What?
Gets stuck? Yeah, I guess I'm the only one, but the door doesn't fit in its frame quite right. When I first tried to use it, I thought it was just locked. But once you learn the trick, it opens no problem. Nice. Bathroom door frame.
Correct.
So the door doesn't quite fit the frame, huh? But actually, I'm referring to the broken doorknob. Huh? The doorknob?
That's right.
You didn't notice? Well, just try closing the bathroom door. I'm sure you'll see right away what I'm talking about. I did what Kyoko said and shut the bathroom door. Huh? The doorknob. What the heck? The doorknob's practically about to fall off. Why is it like this? Why are you like this?
It would seem...
Someone must have used a screwdriver or something similar to unscrew it. Something to the spacing on the front is weird. Whatever it was, it's obvious this was intentional. What? It was intentional? Why would someone want to do that?
So...
I guess maybe they were trying to get the door unlocked and end up breaking the whole thing. But my bathroom doesn't have a lock on it. Only the girls' bathroom can lock, right? She stood there for a while, lost in thoughts, all alone. Then, immediately, struck with a sudden realization, she shot a question at me.
Just a second.
I have just one more question for you. You mentioned earlier that your bathroom door would get stuck, right? Did you tell anyone about that? Well, I did tell Sayaka about it last night when we switched rooms. So what you're saying is, only you and Sayaka knew about it. Interesting. She had the slightest hint of a smirk on her face. I got the sense she was really starting to get into all this.
I see.
And that clears that up. Huh? What clears what up? I'm so lost.
Goodbye.
Well, I'll see you later. As if forgetting I was even there, she suddenly turned and left the room. Nice. Doorknob, truth bullet. I don't really understand any of this, but I've already given my room a good once over. Maybe I should look around somewhere else. I should start looking into where the murder weapon might have come from, and also I should take a look into the DVD Sayaka got. With Sayaka death, I had no choice but to see for myself what was in that video. And on top of that, I'm pretty sure there was some other areas worth checking out too. Maybe I should see what everyone else thinks if they'll ever talk to me, that is. Okay, Mundo mentioned the trash compactor, but I think I'm gonna go to the kitchen first, because that was obviously a knife. How can you be so dense? How can you be so dense that you don't know what a knife is? Huh? This is definitely my room, but the nameplate has Sayaka's name on it. Ah, Makuya. Kyoko. Wait, which one's my room again? Sayaka. Oh. Makoto. Huh? This is Sayaka's room, right? But the nameplate has my name on it. The nameplates on my room and Sayaka's room are switched. So all that effort I put into switching rooms without anyone knowing was totally pointless. But why would anyone do that? Truth will it. Can I go in? I'll take that as a yes. This is my room now. Sayaka. No, I can't let myself get depressed again. I need to search for clues. Nothing here. Hey. Mono token thingy. Sayaka. No, I can't let myself get depressed again. All that's here is the sewing kit and the organ map. No useful clues. There can only be one thing in the trash can. Yep, a disc with Sayaka's name on it. Sayaka got really upset after seeing whatever was in the video. I wonder what did she see? I might not be directly related to the case, but it might be worth checking it out anyway. I'm sorry, Sayaka. I need to borrow this DVD. And I'm gonna go to the video room to check it out. Laundry. Oh, trash compactor. Mundo said to check this place out. Mundo. There's a sturdy gate here. No way to get past.
Monokuma appears!
It's the end of the line. A trash room. This is where all trash in the school eventually runs out. How do you get this gate open?
No, you can't go any further!
No entry beyond this point. Only the person on cleanup duty is allowed in. Cleanup duty?
No, you can't go any further!
Oh, you're just repeating what you said. Who's been cleaning duty?
No, you can't go any further!
This is stupid. It'd be faster just to go around and ask the others.
No, you can't go any further!
Shut up. Nice. Cleaning duty. There's a hatch on the floor. Rattle, rattle. The door won't budge. It must be locked. Nice. looks like some kind of switch. I wonder what it does. Okay, I'll leave. Okay, video room, if I remember where that is. Okay. That's the classroom. Your spare hotel. Speaking of hotels. Here we go. I should be able to use this to see what's on the DVD. A DVD that Sayaka threw in the garbage. I sat down in front of the screen and put the TV in the player. I pushed play and the screen was dark for a few seconds, but then an image slowly appeared. It looked like some kind of concert. And standing on stage, front and center, was a face I recognized all too well. Sayaka. She was there along with the friend she had been so important to her. She was positively glowing there in front of the crowd, so full of life. Seeing that image made it harder to accept that she was dead. My vision started to blur and darken, and then the voice I'd come to despair so much began to float out of the speakers.
Sayaka Maizono, the ultimate pop sensation, lead singer for a world-famous all-girl pop band. For these girls, the glowing spotlight only made them that much more beautiful. But then...
Suddenly the screen went dark, and in the next moment, I saw something I could hardly believe. What the? Sayaka had disappeared from the stage, which was now in ruins. But what I noticed even more than that was the figure of the other girls, who had all suddenly collapsed.
This ultra-successful team suddenly fell apart. None of them will ever perform on stage again. None of them will ever feel the warmth of the spotlight. For Sayaka, there's simply nowhere for her to return to. So here's the billion-dollar question. What, oh what, could have caused the group to go to pieces?
Looking for the answer after graduation. Without warning, the video cut off. What the hell? That wasn't real, right? They're a super famous pop group. Everyone knows who they are. Is he trying to say he was even able to get to them? If that really did happen, everyone in the outside world would be going crazy. What kind of person would take things this far? Can I talk to you? Cleaning duty, eh? As a matter of fact, Monokuma came and talked to me yesterday morning. Really?
Listen to me!
He probably realized I was basically in charge, so he decided to talk to me directly. The topic of the conversation was assigning cleaning duty. Oh, so you're on cleaning duty now?
That's wrong!
Actually, no. Huh? Okay then, who is? Hifumi was also there when we had this conversation. He volunteered right away, so I let him have it. So he's on cleaning duty then.
Count on it!
Indeed. I will swap out on a weekly basis. I'm sure you'll be up before too long. And then the time comes up, and when that time comes, I'll be counting on you. I'm gonna talk to Hifumi. That's blocked out. Where's Hifumi? I'm looking for who's ever on cleaning duty. Cleaning duty? As a matter of fact, that's me. Why do you ask? It just so happens Monokuma talked to me yesterday and asked me to take care of it. Without someone on cleaning duty, the school would be flooded with trash in no time. So I firmly applied for the position. I was gonna start this morning, but after what happened, I haven't had a chance to get started. And since you're in cleaning duty, you can open the gate in front of the trash room.
Here we go.
Of course. It's my job to gather up all the trash and toss it in the trash room. And to do that, they gave me the key for the trash room gate. But we're supposed to rotate once a week. So eventually, you'll be in charge.
Very strange.
Wait, hold on. You need a key to get into the trash room? And the only person on clean duty has access to the key? What's the point of going through all that trouble? Why not just leave the trash room open all the time so we can throw things out whenever we want? That does seem more convenient.
So in other words...
Actually, anyone who kills a fellow student and becomes blackened will graduate unless they are discovered.
So that's it.
That must be why. If anyone could go in and out of the trash room whenever they wanted, then destroying evidence would be easy. The thrill would disappear, and things would become boring. Boring?
Hey, listen!
And anyway, more important than that,
Hey, you bastard!
hey fatty, what do you want the cleaning duty gig anyway?
Oh.
I just decided to volunteer for something I knew no one else would want to do. What's the big deal?
You...
Liar. I know what you did it.
Is
I know
it
you did it.
like...
Oh, crap. You want to go through all the girls' trash looking for, and poking around at it?
There's no way to think about this in a common sense kind of way.
What are you talking about? All my love is for 2D.
You know what I mean.
Well, there's all kinds of trash diggers like that. Maybe you'll get tired to it and then...
Completely unforgivable!
I would never get tired of 2D. After spending a significant amount of time comparing 2D and 3D, I voluntarily chose 2D. The only thing 3D is good for is to shower love and affection on 2D. Oh, and PVC figures.
Give me a break.
How are you totally not embarrassed to say stuff like that? If you're so worried about Hifumi's questionable moral, there's a very easy solution. Whenever a guy has cleaning duty, Sakura can accompany them from picking up the trash to dispose of it. What?
What?
If you're as innocent as you claim, where's the harm in it? That's not how it's supposed to... Anyway, on another topic, Hifumi, since you were on cleaning duty, I have a favor to ask you. What? So now you suddenly want to join my party? Sorry, but you haven't triggered the flag yet. I mean, you haven't helped me recover from my past trauma or save a village or beat a boss. No, nothing like that. I was I was just hoping to get into the trash room and look around.
You.
Oh, okay. So easy. So Hifumi and I headed down to the trash room. You'd like me to open the gate, would you? Hey. You know, when I look at it, it makes me think. They said he killed his wife. He learned how to get by on the inside, but he never stopped dreaming. Get busy living or get busy dying, he said. So him and Rita, they found themselves a way out. Whatever, please just hurry up. Okie dokie, leave it to me. Hifumi pulled out a key out of his pocket and used it to flip the switch next to the gate. And then...
Mr. Naegi!
However, Mr. Naegi,
Without a doubt.
surely you aren't planning to use the trash room to destroy evidence, are you? You fiend, you planned this all along. No. I just wanted to see if the evidence had... I just wanted to see if the actual killer had tried to destroy any evidence or not. But the actual killer is you, isn't it? You want to see if you left anything behind. Wait, maybe in a parallel world. Whatever, let's just hurry up and keep looking. There's something on the floor in front of the incinerator. It looks like a burnt piece of something. It's a sleeve. You could tell it's a sleeve. A burnt piece, like a hunk? Like a hunk of burning rock? Anyway, this looks like a piece of cloth, and the shape is a part of the sleeve of a button-up shirt. And now that I look at it, there's definitely blood on the top. Which means this is all that's left of some of the evidence the killer destroyed. But there are lots of people here with white button-up shirts. This isn't enough by itself to figure out who the killer is. Burnt shirt piece. There are shards of broken glass scattered around in front of the incinerator. It looks like it was used to be some kind of glass wall. But just about big enough to fit in palm of your hand.
Is this perhaps...
Yeah. Is that? Do you know what this is? They say if you collect all 7, a dragon will appear and grant you a single wish. No. Kidding aside, it's the kind of thing you might see on any big city street corner. Gaze into it, and it will show you a glimpse of the future. Just like that Mina girl who was on the quest to find that one guy. Yeah. I get what you're trying to say, but who did this particular bowl belong to? There's only one person it could be. They should all still be in the gym. I better go find out for sure. Shattered crystal ball. Yes, I have an idea. This is a huge trash can. It doesn't look like a can, it looks more like a cube. This is where we're supposed to put whatever trash we can't burn. Well, whatever. Well, whatever it's for, it doesn't look like it's having any clues. A green button and a yellow button. There's no doubt they're related to the big mechanism. This is the incinerator. It's way in the back part of the trash room. It's a good 30 feet from here to the gate. Ah, and it's on right now. Do you see the green and yellow button next to the mouth of the incinerator?
Yes, indeed.
It's a pretty simple setup. You press the green button to get it going and the yellow button to turn it off. Sooner or later, you'll be on cleaning duty, so make sure you learn this before you leave, okay? Huh? Someone turned the incinerator on. Very strange. I'm quite certain it was off the last time I was down here.
Was it a fairy?
Perhaps it was the work of a fairy. Ikumi, do you realize what you just said?
Huh?
Huh? The fairy? No. You said the last time you were here, the incinerator was off. Yes. About that, there can be no mistake, and I've got one thing going for me. It's my memory.
I feel as if...
Yesterday, as soon as I was appointed, I came down to check this place out. It definitely wasn't on then. I haven't been back here to the trash room since then. Back to the trash. I can't read. I'm tired. And since I'm the only one who has the key to open the gate, they could have thrown
Most suspicious.
It should be impossible for the incinerator to be on, and yet... So that means someone was able to switch on the incinerator without opening the gate. But how is that possible? The incinerator was added. This whole thing is quite strange indeed. When I was here last, the incinerator was off, and those glass shards and burnt clothes weren't.
Completely unforgivable!
What does it all mean, Mr. Naegi? Will you be confessing soon? Why me?
That's it! I'm sure of it!
Everyone already knows you did it. All the mysteries are being solved one by one. It sounds like he's living out one of his comic book fantasies. Wait, that used to be a crystal ball, right? It's close to the buttons. Maybe it was thrown? But it's at 30 feet. This is...
Yes, in.
I'm just kidding that.
Most suspicious.
Okay, I think we can exit now. Okay. I said go to the gym, but I want to go to the kitchen, but I don't know where the kitchen is. Maybe near the cafeteria? I'm just checking my second screen. Oh, I was right. Knife. There are all sorts of kitchen knives here, big to small, but looks like one of them is missing. Was it missing from the very beginning, or... I better see if anyone here knows more about it. Knife set. Wait. Hey, so did you notice that one of the kitchen knives is missing from the dining hall?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, weird, huh? I thought it was kind of strange. A knife this suddenly disappeared like that. Oh, it wasn't missing from the beginning?
That's right.
Nope. Last I remember, they were all lined up in a nice, neat row. So when did you notice one of them had disappeared?
Well,
I went to get some tea from the kitchen last night, and all the knives were still there. but when I finished my tea and went back to wash, I can't read. And when I finished my tea and went into the kitchen to wash my glass, all the knives were gone. So you're saying the knife disappeared while you were drinking your tea in the dining hall? Yeah. In other words, you're right here in the dining room hall when someone came and took it. Then you should be able to say for sure. You can tell I didn't come to the dining hall last night, which proves I didn't take it. Always accounts. That's a lot of A's. Hey, by the way, did you really kill Sayaka? What? Of course not. I would never. Hina, do you really think I murdered her?
I mean...
Well, she was killed in your room, right? So, I mean... You guys were supposed to be friends, right? But you still killed her. On the other hand, two people becoming close friends, then one killing the other is a classic drama setup. So when you consider everything together...
Aww.
I honestly have no idea. Let's go back. It's the same. Marble meat, salted meats. Now there's no time to be thinking about food. There's a bunch of vegetables all piled up. I don't see anything noteworthy about it. Okay. I need to see that. Was his name Yasuhiro or something? I need to go see him in the gym. So let's go. Is this the gym? No, that's the exit. Whee! Oh, that's the entrance. Celeste. Jimmy. Jim. There. Hey Hiro, can I ask you something? No. I gotta get out of here. Gotta get out now. I've had enough. Gotta break free. Hiro, snap out of it. Yasuhiro. Huh? Makoto? What are you doing here? What? Does this look familiar? That's my crystal ball. It's all smashed. What the hell?
What the heck?
I only bought it because the guy said it was blessed. He said it was unbreakable. So how did it break? Was it actually made out of glass, not crystal? Did the guy totally dope me? He said it belonged to the pillars of history. Genghis Khan, George Washington, Napoleon. He said whoever controlled the crystal ball controlled the world. Was this seriously all BS? Let's put that aside for now. So you could say without a doubt that this belonged to you? Yeah, that's mine for sure. I totally forgot it in the laundry room last night. Someone must have come in Must have come by and snatched it. You left it in the laundry room? That means anyone could have found it and taken it. Update. Crystal Shard just been updated. Thanks, Hiro. That's all I needed to know. Sure. By the way, I'm almost afraid to ask, but how much did you pay for this thing? Everything I saved up from fortune telling for 2 full years. Come out to be like a million? A million? That's pretty cheap, actually. I mean, considering it gives you the power to control the world. That's just too stupid. I can't even feel bad for him. Bing dong, bing bong.
I'm getting tired of waiting. What say we just get started, hmm? It's time for the long-awaited class trial!
Trial time.
Now then, allow me to appoint a proper location for the proceedings. Please go through the red door on the first floor of the school.
Oh, it's just there. Okay.
See you soon!
That's where I should go. No, I have to go. Ominous.
Yo!
You're late, Makoto. We've all been waiting for you. I bet you were afraid you would be discovered as the murderer you are.
Listen to me!
Let's not jump to conclusions just yet. Save that for the class trial. There we can all reveal the details of Makoto's crime. So they really are convinced I did it, but I didn't do it. Me and Saika both know that all too well. But then who is the killer? The one who killed Sayaka is really one of us. The murderer is among us.
Is everyone
I'm
here?
sorry.
Please
I did
board
it.
the elevator in front of you, which will transport you to the courtroom, where all your fates will be decided. I'll meet you all down there. I'll be waiting.
Sure. I guess I have no choice but to get on this elevator.
Well then.
Let us begin.
Yes, indeed.
Good idea.
Hey,
Are you scared? No, scared isn't quite right.
Makoto.
I said it before, but it's up to you to uncover the mystery surrounding this case yourself. If you don't, you'll never come to grips with the truth. I need to uncover the truth of Sayaka's death. I didn't need someone else to tell me to do that. In Sayaka's honor. I swear, I'll find out who the real killer is. I raise my voice and try to give myself courage. I turn trembling with anticipation towards the elevator. With each step forward, I could feel my heart starting to race faster and faster. Everyone else was already on the elevator when I finally stepped on. The doors closed and the elevator started to move. The steel box descended with the heavy clinking noises towards the school's basement. Wow. Sus. I wonder if this is how a death row inmate feels when his time finally comes.
Oh!
Rather than that, is it not more defendant waiting to, like a defendant waiting to receive his judgment? Oblivious to our shared anxiety, the elevator lowered us further and further to the bowels of the school. Kyoko was right. Makoto is... You finally arrived. But I was saying, Kyoko was right. Makoto is is a poet. What do you think? Doesn't it feel just like a real courtroom? It's like a movie set, right? Not even close. It's a little shit.
Well now.
Okay. Everyone find your assigned seat. Says sit down. Hurry up now, hurry up. We did what he said and found our seats. The seats were arranged in a giant circle. It was set up so that everyone could see everyone else. Which also meant it'd be easy for anyone to transfer their tension and unease onto anyone else. The air seemed to grow heavy as we sat there. And so the curtain of our first case opened. A deadly judgment. Did I spell judgment wrong? Or that's how you actually spell judgment, and I've been the one spelling it wrong. A deadly deception. A deadly betrayal. A deadly riddle. A deadly defense. A deadly faith. A deadly game. A deadly food. A deadly whatever. A deadly last trial. Do you want to save? Yes. I will override this. Okay. Truth bullets. Okay. Why just select one of these? The game will let you save at any time during the trial. Okay. Wait, what's that? No, this voice. Increase damage to the opponent when a statement is destroyed. Effective during the bullet time battle. Robot drop. Increase your truth bullet rate of fire affected during the non-stop event. I'll just get what I see. Are those the only two things we have? Yeah, those are the only two. I know Dangan means like bullet in Japanese if I remember correctly. Finish prep. I'm probably gonna fail this.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results.
Okay.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one,
We all die.
then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
And the killer really is one of us, right?
Of course.
Okay, then. Everyone, close your eyes. And whoever did it, raise your hand.
That's not gonna work.
Don't be a goddamn idiot. Why the hell would they raise their hand?
Before we move on and start the trial, can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah.
What's going on with those pictures?
You're smart. You should figure it
I'd
out.
feel awful if they got left out just because they died. Friendship penetrates even death's barrier. Friendship penetrates?
Okay, but what about that other empty seat? There were only 15 of us to begin with, so why are there 16 seats?
There's a 16th student.
Oh, no reason. It's just that our little courtroom here
Okay.
can technically fit up to 16 people. Okay, that about does it for the preamble. First up is the case summary. Now, let the class trial begin.
It's about to begin. The debate to decide who we think the killer is. Anything I found, anything I noticed, I have to be ready to speak up about everything. Because this isn't about me. Everyone's lives are on the line. Your first non-stop debate is about to begin. Would you like to hear more? Yes. This is my first time playing the game. As things progress during each class trial, you will engage in a number of non-stop debates. During these discussions, characters will speak up one after the other without pause. It's up to you to unearth any lies or contradictions buried within their statements. With this, you'll have to use your truth words to refute what they say. Reaction time. Got it? Any relevant truth words you found during your investigation will be loaded into the truth cylinder. Use the mouse to aim and fire with the left mouse button, like every shooting game. Pay close attention to each character's statements and use your truth bullets to blast the right ones. Note, if you run out of time, you will automatically fail, so please be careful. If you press the escape key during these arguments, you can review the controls. Well then, good luck and have fun. Okay.
I assert that the one who was murdered was Miss Sayaka Maizono!
That's the truth?
Yeah, you know that part already.
And the murder took place in Makoto's room.
In the bathroom. So it seems most likely that the killer must have taken her by surprise while she was in the bathroom. She didn't even have a chance to resist.
No, it's wrong!
I'm just randomly pressing.
Just a second, Chihiro. Try to remember how my room looked. With the way things had been damaged, I think we can definitely assume there was a struggle.
A struggle? Between who and who?
Between Sayaka and the killer, of course.
So you're saying Sayaka wasn't caught by surprise in the bathroom?
She wasn't.
She must have been attacked in the main room first. Then, she ran to the bathroom to try and hide.
Yeah.
The killer followed her in, and that's where they finished the job.
That much should have been obvious after taking one look at the scene. It shouldn't even need explaining.
Sorry.
Okay, so what's next?
Next is the subject of the murder weapon.
Wow, this is starting to sound like a real trial.
We need to determine what was used to kill Sayaka. Knife.
So what was used to kill her?
There was some kind of sharp object thrust into her stomach. Without a doubt, that is the murder weapon.
So the killer used some random knife they had on him. How could anyone do something
never
like
mind.
that? That son of a bitch!
Because the object was thrust inside the stomach was a knife that disappeared from a certain location.
So what was used to kill her?
There was some kind of sharp object thrust into her stomach. Without a doubt, that is the murder weapon.
So the killer used some random knife they had on him. How could anyone do something like that? That son of a bitch!
So what was used to kill her?
What did I press?
There was some kind of sharp object thrust into her stomach. Without a doubt, that is the murder weapon.
So the killer used some random knife they had on him.
No, it's wrong.
I pressed that earlier. Why didn't it work last time?
No. I do think it was a knife, but not just any knife.
I pressed that
I'm
earlier.
almost positive
Why
it
didn't
was
it
a
work?
kitchen knife.
Did the game lag?
Huh? A kitchen knife?
After the murder, we discovered that one of the knives from the kitchen was missing.
Which means that knife must be the murder weapon.
Oh, yeah. I guess that makes sense. You could sort of see the weapon sticking out of her
You
stomach.
could see it clearly.
And if you look real close, I could totally see that being a kitchen knife.
It's obvious.
Okay, so the murder weapon was a kitchen knife, but where does that get us? I mean, we all know Makoto killed her, right?
That's right. Makoto's room was the scene of the crime. What more proof do you need?
Hold on a second.
Let's draw our conclusions after we presented our arguments. Otherwise, what's the point of the trial?
Well, we can talk all we want. It's not going to change that conclusion.
I don't think that's true at all. I'm sure if we keep at it, something new will reveal itself.
You really believe that?
She's right. There's gotta be a breakthrough somewhere, just waiting for us to find it. Because I know damn well I'm not the killer. But there's a bit more to learn about non-stop debates. Would you like to hear more? Wait. My door just randomly opened because of the wind. Because I opened my window because it's hot in there. Absolutely. You can concentrate by holding the space, hold down the space key. While you're concentrating, time will slow down, so you can pay closer attention to what everyone's saying. On top of that, it will steady your aim, making it easier to target potential weak points. Concentrating like this will use the focus gauge, and if this gauge empties, you can't concentrate. But the focus gauge will recover over time, so let your brain take a rest, no need to rush. Well then, good luck and have fun. Let's try it out.
So I guess there's no question that the kitchen knife was the murder weapon. But where does that get us?
Makoto must have taken it from the kitchen, right? He did it in secret.
No, it's wrong.
Break.
Okay, wait. Hold on. I didn't take the knife from the kitchen.
Next, you're gonna say you're not the killer, right? Go ahead and say it all you want.
Well, what if I have a witness? What do you think, Hina?
Huh?
Remember what you were telling me earlier?
Well, I went to go get some tea from the kitchen last night, and all the knives are still there. And when I finished my tea and went back into the kitchen to wash my glass, one of the knives was gone. So you're saying the knife disappeared while you were drinking your tea in the dining hall? Yeah.
Just to be perfectly clear, the knife disappeared while you were in the dining hall, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
And at any point while you were there, did you ever see me come into the dining hall?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, he definitely wasn't there.
The knife disappeared while Hina was in the dining hall, but I wasn't there the entire time. In other words, there's no way I could have taken the knife.
Okay, then what about this? What if the idiot swimmer girl and Makoto are in on it together and lying to protect each other?
Idiot swimmer girl? Oh, and more importantly, why would I get involved in something like that?
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
And my dog's licking me, so that's why my door open wasn't the wind. Let me know. I'm doing something.
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Yeah.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
But what if they did work together and they just didn't know about the rule?
grief! Enough already! No, okay? There are no accomplices in this case! Oops, did I say that out loud?
Anyway, I didn't go to the dining hall, and I didn't take the knife. So I'm not the killer.
Okay, so then, who did take the knife?
Hina seems the obvious candidate. After all, she just said she was in the dining hall.
No, no way! I swear it wasn't me!
Sure, but can you or anyone else prove that?
I can.
That's right! Sakura was with me the entire time I was drinking my tea.
I hate to have to ask, but just to be sure, Sakura's...
Me.
Right.
But then, couldn't either one of them have grabbed the knife?
Actually, no. Because, well...
Just spit it out already.
I stayed in Hina's room last night.
I got so scared thanks to those creepy videos. I wasn't really thinking, I just asked her to stay over. Which means we have airtight alibis.
You stayed over? Doesn't that violate one of the school regulations?
We're not allowed to sleep anywhere but the dorms, but it doesn't say we have to stay in our assigned room, so I don't think that's a problem.
Loophole.
It is a problem! A boy and a girl spending the night together? It's unwholesome!
But I'm a girl.
You are? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry!
But if it wasn't either of you, then what other possibility is there?
Actually, there is one other possibility. Right, Hina?
Oh, yeah, that's true! One other person did come to the dining hall while we were there.
Why didn't you say so in the first place?
Well, because they're not here anymore.
Someone who's not here anymore. Are you talking about...
Sayaka. She's the one who came to the dining hall. And then later, she wound up dead.
Sayaka? Okay. So the person who took the knife from the kitchen was...
I got it!
Sayaka.
Then, Sayaka is the one who took the knife?
That's the only possibility. And thinking back on it, she was acting kind of unusual. When she came into the dining hall, she didn't even look at us. She just went straight to the kitchen. As she left, she said she just wanted a drink of water. But most likely...
And the person who took the knife was the victim herself.
Yep.
I'm sure she just took it for self-defense.
So you're saying the knife she took was then taken from her, and she was killed with it?
I guess so.
In that case, you may not have taken the knife, but you still could have killed her.
What?
Alright, Bakuya.
See? He did do it after all!
No, you're wrong!
So, that's how you would twist the argument and send us all off in the wrong direction? You possess a most terrifying
I
talent.
just clearly cleared my name and now... Damn it. If I go do something, they're all gonna blame me for the murder. Don't they understand? If they convict me, everyone's gonna die. They don't know. That's because they don't know.
Hold on. It's still too early to decide conclusively that Makoto is the killer, wouldn't you say? Because you see, if the room did belong to the killer, then they did something most bewildering. And until we unravel that little mystery, you simply can't declare that he's the killer.
Bewildering? What the hell are you talking about?
Something was missing from the scene of the crime that by all rights should have been there. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Your first Hangman's Gambit is about to begin. Would you like to hear more? Yes. As things advance further in a class trial, the Hangman's Gambit will eventually take place. The point of this is to reveal an important phrase relating to the incident in question. You have to detect the phrase from the letters flying around, and the letters already known. Completing the phrase by shooting them down. Completing the phrase by shooting down the flying letters in the right order. Use the mouse to aim in the left. Yeah. If you shoot down the wrong letters, you'll suffer damage to your influence gaze. If the gauge reaches 0 or you run out of time, you fail. I'm probably going to be bad at this. And I'm not just talking about this trial in particular, maybe something that should have been at a scene that wasn't. That must be a crucial point. If we can figure out what that something is, Hangman's Gambit. I have no idea. Hair.
Now I understand.
That's true. Oh, so that's how that works.
That's right. There wasn't a single hair on the floor.
I forgot about the hair part.
So
It's the worst
the
minigame in
culprit
Danganronpa
removed
2.
some evidence?
Yes. And if I were the culprit,
So you have to double click the letters, okay.
why would I need to get rid of all the hair in my own room? It wouldn't be unusual at all to find my hair at the crime scene if the crime scene is in my room.
The reason all the hair was gone was to remove any trace that Sayaka had ever been there. That makes sense, does it not?
No. If that were the case, they would have had to do something about the body itself, not just her hair.
Huh.
Yes, very true, very true.
Okay, then why wasn't there any hair on the ground?
The killer got rid of it all, of course, to remove any trace that they had ever been there.
Uh-huh.
Wait, then that means...
Precisely. It's simply beyond reason to believe that the room's owner and the killer are one and the same.
Ah.
Then Makoto isn't the culprit?
Are you sure we can decide something so important based solely on the absence of some hair?
No. There are other reasons that prove why Makoto couldn't have done it.
A doorknob?
I would like to hear these reasons.
Do you remember anything remarkable about the bathroom at the scene? Sayaka was attacked in the main room first, then fled into the bathroom, right?
Yeah, then they ran after her, got into the bathroom, and stabbed her.
And how did the killer get into the bathroom? Did they have any trouble with it?
What do you mean?
It's fairly certain that the killer had some trouble getting into the bathroom.
Yep.
There was clear evidence left behind. Do you remember?
Do I remember?
I got it!
The note.
Evidence that the killer had trouble getting into the bathroom. You're talking about the doorknob, right?
Huh? The doorknob? What doorknob?
The doorknob for my bathroom. It was completely broken. See how the top part was unscrewed? And the doorknob's
How are
about
you
ready
showing
to
this?
fall
Yeah.
off?
Did you take a photo?
Oh yeah, true. But what does it mean?
In trying to bypass the lock, they ended up nearly removing the entire doorknob. This is another most bewildering act for the room's owner. It proves Makoto is beyond suspicion.
So what? You're saying he wouldn't break the door in his own room? But if the only choice you have is to break it, you break it. There's nothing bewildering about it.
You still don't see? Okay then. Let's take another look at how the incident unfolded. Hopefully that will help you understand.
Okay. almost didn't notice at first, but is the key point here? There's a bit more to learn about non-stop debates. Would you like to hear more? Sure. From here on out, the number of weak points will start going up. And no matter how many weak points, there's essentially only one lie or contradiction in that debate. What I'm trying to say is, not all weak points you see are necessarily false. Once a truth ruler is the wrong one, and not only will you fail to refute what they said, but you'll also lower your trust with everyone, and your influence gauge will take damage. Now, this is important because if your influence gauge reaches 0, you fail. You have to rely on your own logic to determine which weak points are lies or contradictions. Well then, good luck and have fun. I thought I was doing that earlier, but I think I wasn't paying attention, so...
The incident took place in Makoto's room.
That's right.
Sayaka was first attacked in the main room.
That's true.
She then fled into the bathroom.
Then the killer ran after her. And they got into the bathroom.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door. Because Sayaka had locked it.
Wait, no!
And finally,
no!
The culprit had Sayaka cornered.
To finish the job, they stabbed her with the kitchen.
Why didn't my mouse move?
It was you, wasn't it, Makoto? Admit it. We already know the answer.
The incident took place in Makoto's
Okay, I
room.
need to fix up my mouse.
Sayaka was first attacked in the main room. She then fled into the bathroom.
Then the killer ran after her. And they got into the bathroom.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door. Because Sayaka had locked it.
No, that's wrong.
There's no lock in my room.
The reason my bathroom didn't open wasn't because it was locked. After all, the girls' rooms are the only ones with locking bathrooms, right?
Yeah.
Yes, now that you mention it, that is true.
Then why didn't your bathroom door open?
The only game where you really need to worry about the timer is Danganronpa 3.
Because it was stuck.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Each game is pretty harder than the last, so it's pretty short in that one. Okay.
My bathroom door doesn't fit in the frame quite right. Monokuma over there can testify to that.
Yup, true as true can be.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, you're supposed to be the ultimate lucky student, right? But to have such a cruddy door... That's not lucky at all!
Maybe it is luck, because it's helping me with the case.
So the reason the door didn't open was just because it was stuck. But the killer didn't know that and assumed it was locked. So they tore apart the doorknob to get in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but then why would the killer even think the door was locked in the first place? Everyone should have known you can't lock any of the boys' bathrooms.
The killer could easily make that mistake,
Because they
thanks
switched the
to
name
one
tags.
important detail about the scene of the crime.
Oh wait, I forgot to read that part. So they didn't know the door couldn't actually be locked. In other words, the important detail they didn't know was crime took place in my room.
My gun!
They probably assumed it was Sayaka's room, right?
The killer must not have realized that it was my room.
What? Are you saying the culprit didn't even know where he was? That's inconceivable!
Because they changed the name tags.
And yet, he's absolutely right.
Say what?
Well, to be more specific, what the killer didn't know was that Makoto and Sayaka had switched rooms, which is what led to the misunderstanding about the bathroom. If Sayaka had been in her own room, then...
Then there would have been a lock on the door, and they would have had to break through!
Wait. Leon thought it was locked.
So they had no idea how unnecessary their actions were.
Ultimately, we can't know if it came open by force or simply by accident. But... the killer must have been considerably confused, with no idea how they actually got the door opened.
Regardless, it was a pointless act. Wasting time trying to break down a door that wasn't locked is...
Definitely something I wouldn't do, since I would have known exactly why it wasn't opening, right?
Yep.
That is a definite possibility.
Yeah.
So the killer would have to be someone who didn't know they'd switched rooms?
Which is everyone except Sayaka and I.
Then Makoto couldn't have done it.
That's what I've been trying to say. That's what I've been trying to tell you.
Okay, then who did do it?
I'm sorry, but I give up! Quit without saving!
But what happens if we can't decide on who we think did it?
Well, why don't we just vote right now? Majority rules!
Majority
That's
rules?
dumb.
You really think that's a good idea?
Because you could vote the wrong person.
Our necks are on the line here. Someone seriously needs to do something. For serious.
Does no one have any other thoughts or questions? It does not matter how trivial they may seem.
Oh, as a matter of fact, I do have one question.
Yeah?
Oh, you...
You guys don't get
You
along.
don't gotta sound so disappointed.
It's fine, it's fine. Just ask your question.
Oh yeah. Okay, so,
Yeah?
well, I was just wondering, how did the culprit get into Makoto's room in the first place?
Okay, BRB.
Yes. How did the killer get inside?
Yeah.
Maybe Sayaka just dropped the key somewhere and the culprit picked it up. That's possible, right?
I don't think so. That seems way too convenient.
Yeah.
Then, maybe someone picked the lock?
Negative! If you remember, Monokuma made it quite clear that the locks are all unpickable.
Fine. How about this? The killer got in the easy way. They could have knocked, instead they wanted to talk or something, and Miss Maizono just let him in.
No, that can't be it either.
Oh, trying to argue against me? Sounds like someone doesn't know his place. Hello? Why exactly can't that be it?
You're pointing at the camera, but Mikoto's right next to you. Because she asked me to do something in particular because of how terrified she was. That's the answer right there. There's no way Sayaka let someone in because... I'm actually stuck here, I don't know. Was it this? Oh, switching rooms.
I got it! Because Sayaka was already scared, remember? That's why she asked me to switch rooms in the first place.
Yep. The same goes for you, Sayaka. No matter who it is, don't open the door for anyone. Even if I'm sure it's you, I absolutely won't open it. Otherwise, there's no point of even switching.
Knowing what she'd been through, I just can't believe she would have opened the door for anyone.
What if her being scared was a lie?
Huh? Well, what the hell is that supposed to mean? Why would she lie about something like that?
I know you don't want to consider it, but look at this and tell me. Can you still deny the possibility?
There's something I want to talk to you about. Just us two. In 5 minutes, come see me in my room. Sayaka. check the nameplates to make sure you don't get the wrong room, okay?
I found a notepad during my search, and I shaded in the
Why
top
didn't
sheet with
you
a
tell
pencil.
us?
And these are the words that appear.
Oh man! I've totally seen people do that on detective shows.
Or art class. I did it when I was in primary school. When I was still a kid for art.
When you write, it can leave an imprint. Sketch over the next sheet of paper, and you can see the words. When I saw that, I was like, holy crap! I better make sure I rip the paper out before I use it from now on.
It's a pretty old-fashioned technique, but even the classics can be surprisingly useful sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, and I should also mention, I found the notepad on the desk in Makoto's room. Which means only someone who had been in Makoto's room before the incident could have written it.
Yep.
Then either it was Makoto who lived there, or Sayaka who switched rooms for a single night.
So, Makoto, did you write this?
No, I didn't. But
Of course you didn't, because the note also bears a perfectly legible signature. Sayaka's signature.
It just looks like messy writing. In that note, Sayaka wrote it.
but why? Why would she write that?
She tried to frame me?
The note was likely her way of getting in touch with a certain someone. She must have slid it under their door to let them know she wanted to meet with them in secret.
If you got an invitation like that from the ultimate pop sensation, what young man could resist?
Yeah.
Of course, I'm only into 2D, so it wouldn't have any effect on me.
Yep.
But can we be sure anyone even got this note? And honestly, even if they did, I do not think they are at all involved in what happened.
Huh? What makes you say that?
Would you like to hear what I have to say? Very well then. Pay attention.
Make your argument.
Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct?
Yeah.
But in the note, the place they were asked to come to, it specifically says, my room.
I see. So if someone read that note, then they would have gone to Sayaka's room.
Exactly. The room that Makoto was staying in.
Wait.
No, it's wrong.
Wait, did I pick that wrong?
The nameplates on Mai and Sayaka's rooms got switched.
They got switched?
Yeah.
That's right. The nameplates got switched, just like the rooms themselves.
I kinda guessed that.
As a result, the nameplate on Sayaka's room actually had Makoto's name. And the nameplate on Makoto's room had Sayaka's.
So what you're saying is, the room Sayaka was staying in was actually marked as her room.
Yep.
Then, if someone did do what the note said, they would end up at Makoto's room where Sayaka was.
Yep. Plus, their rooms are right next to each other, so switching the nameplates would be no problem. And the one who switched the names was... Well, of course it wasn't you, right, Makoto?
Right?
Jinx.
Okay, then who did it?
There's only one person who could have switched it. The only other person who knew was Sayaka.
I got it! Me and Sayaka were the only ones who ever knew about us switching rooms. So the only other person besides me who would even know to switch the nameplates was Sayaka.
Yep.
You can also infer as much from her note.
She was trying to frame us. There's something I want to talk to you about. Just us two. In 5 minutes, come see me in my room. Check the nameplates to make sure you don't get the wrong room, okay?
She specifically tells the reader to check the nameplate. She would only have written that if she knew the nameplates had been switched.
But why would she switch them in the first place?
She wanted someone to come to the room she was in, and also hide the fact that it was Makoto's room.
What?
Inviting someone to your room, but not telling them you'd switched rooms. Why would anyone do that?
To understand that, we first need to understand what happened after she invited the person into the room. That's where the answer lies.
What happened then was probably whoever she invited over came in and attacked her.
Yeah.
We figured it out! We know who did it! Whoever she invited over is the culprit!
But we still don't know who it is, you goddamn idiot!
Yeah.
Sayaka fought with her killer there in the room, yes?
Yeah.
Perhaps the answer to our previous question lies in that initial struggle.
Yes, I think you're right.
Then... we just have to figure out what happened during the fight, right?
Yeah.
That reminds me. There was a replica sword at the murder scene. Was that perhaps used during the fight?
Oh yeah. What's the deal with that sword?
Sayaka suggested I should hold on to it. I thought it might come in handy if I had to defend myself. It seems pretty likely that the killer used it to break Sayaka's right wrist.
How the hell could you possibly know that's what broke her wrist?
The glitter. The real reason I know Sayaka's wrist was broken with the fake sword is because when you look in her wrist, there is no doubt
I got it! All you have to do is take a good look at her broken wrist, and it should become pretty clear.
it was glittery.
Right there where her wrist is all swollen. There's something glittery there. See?
Is that gold?
Still. Wait, how did people know it was Makoto's room when they switched the nameplates and they didn't switch back? But the killer fell for it. But everyone else seems... I'm not gonna question it.
It sure is.
Yeah.
Specifically, the gold coating from the replica sword. You barely have to touch that stuff, and it'll stick right to you. And there's some on her wrist because...
I got it! Because she got hit with the sword, right there on her wrist!
She tried to defend herself.
I see. And so the truth draws ever closer.
Yeah.
Alright, then it's about time to solve this mystery.
What happened in my room? What led to Sayaka's death? That's what we need to make clear. There's a bit more to learn about non-stop debates. Would you like to hear more? Absolutely. Are you getting used to these non-stop debates? Starting with the next debate, I'll start loading multiple truth bullets into your truth cylinder. But like with the hit points, only one of these bullets can be actually refuted with the truth's proper statement. In other words, from here on out, you have to combine the right truth bullets with the right weak points to refute each statement. If you come up with the worst combination, you'll take damage to your influence gauge. Press the Q key to rotate the cylinder and choose which bullet to fire. Press and release the Q key to cycle through each bullet. You could use the mouse wheel. By the way, if the logic difficulty is set to kind, fewer bullets will be loaded into the cylinder. For our purposes this time, the logic difficulty will be set to mean. Well, good luck and have fun. Okay, those are my bullets.
When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. The sword-based sneak attack.
That's what broke Miss Maizono's wrist.
Oh, that's how I switch.
So she tried to fight back. She grabbed the kitchen knife she had hidden away.
Oh crap.
Shoot!
I'm gonna fail this.
When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack.
And that's what broke Miss Maizono's wrist.
So she tried to fight back. She grabbed the kitchen knife she had hidden away.
But then the culprit took that from her too.
And they killed her with it.
And that's exactly what happened.
I have no idea. So...
When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack.
And that's what broke Miss Maizono's wrist.
So she tried to fight back. She grabbed the kitchen knife she had hidden away.
But then the culprit took that from her too.
And they killed her with it.
And that's exactly what happened.
You know what? Screw it, I'm gonna start.
When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack.
No, that's wrong.
It was the sword.
Actually, no. I don't think the fight started with the sword.
Yeah.
Why not?
Because the sword sheath had been scratched. See? There's a gash in it. Like someone cut into it with something sharp.
Something sharp? You mean like the kitchen knife? That was the only sharp thing found at the scene.
The sword was blunt.
Stop jumping ahead. Slow down and explain it so I get what the hell's going on.
If the sword was used first, there wouldn't be any explanation for the scratch on the sheath. If you were going to attack with the sword, you'd take it out of the sheath first, right?
Yeah.
That's true. With the sheath on, it'd be heavy and bulky and useless as shit.
Okay, so how did the sheath get damaged?
If they got attacked with the kitchen knife, maybe they grabbed the sword as a defensive impulse. In that situation, there wouldn't be any time to actually unsheath the sword.
Yep.
So you're saying the sword was initially used to defend against an attack from the knife?
Which means whoever had the kitchen knife is the one who attacked first.
I think I get it. So here's how it all played out.
Yeah.
The culprit came in, found the kitchen knife hidden there somewhere.
Yeah.
Then they took the knife and attacked Sayaka before she knew what was happening. So she grabbed the sword to defend herself, but then the culprit took that from her too. Then, after they broke her wrist with the sword, they took the knife and finished it.
Sorry, but I don't think Sayaka used the sword to defend herself.
What? How the hell can you not think that?
Because she never held the sword at all. There's a certain part of her body that makes this clear.
Which part of your body?
I got it!
The palm.
You're talking about her palms, right?
Yes.
The palms of her hands were perfectly clean, so I don't think she ever picked up the sword.
Yep.
How can you know that just by looking at her palms?
Because it's glittery.
Like I said before, the gold coating on that sword comes right off. All you have to do is touch it.
Yep.
In fact, if you look, you'll notice that a lot of the gold has already come off the handle.
So, someone
it's
touched
safe to
it.
assume that's because whoever used the sword got some of it on their hands.
Yep.
There's really no way she could have picked it up and come away completely clean.
Yeah.
Maybe she washed her hands after she escaped into the bathroom.
There would have been no time.
Sorry, but I don't think so.
Why do you say that? Is it because you think I'm ugly?
How does that relate?
No, that's not it at all.
Because the water's off.
I got it! According to the Monokuma file, Sayaka's time of death was around 1:30 a.m.
Yep.
In other words, at nighttime. And the water in the bathroom shuts off at nighttime, right?
Oh, I didn't know that. Actually, I haven't taken a shower.
Oh my.
You're no different. You smell like a big fat ugly donkey.
Wow.
I'm not sure whether to take that as an insult or a compliment.
It also does let you review evidence for new games.
An insult, obviously.
So anyway, if Sayaka never touched the sword, then that means the killer is the only one who used the sword.
Yep.
But hold on. If that's right, then the one who damaged the sheath with the kitchen knife was...
Sayaka. The only one who did it was Sayaka.
I got it! Sayaka? She had the kitchen knife?
So the killer was
But we already said that the attack started with...
The person with the knife attacked first, and the sword was used as an impromptu defense.
Yep.
Then the one who attacked first was...
Sayaka?
Now do you understand? She wasn't a blameless victim in this.
No, far from it. It's almost as if she'd been planning to commit a murder of her own.
She failed. What?
She took the knife from the kitchen, then invited the culprit to the room she was staying in.
Yeah.
And if it's true that she had the kitchen knife and attacked without provocation...
Indeed. These are all the actions of an assailant.
Which brings up another point. Makoto, Sayaka was the one who suggested you two switch rooms, correct?
Yeah.
Maybe the reason she wanted to switch rooms was so that she could pin the crime on you. That is a possibility, is it not?
Sayaka wanted to... on me?
That would also explain why she would switch the nameplates. She wanted to get whoever she had targeted to come to Makoto's room where she was staying. And by committing the murder there, instead of her room, that would implicate Makoto.
Yes.
But for that to work, the target had to be lured out while still keeping the room swap a secret. If the target knew she had switched rooms, they would have become suspicious right away.
Huh.
So all that's why she switched the names?
Yeah.
But doesn't that plan seem a little risky? For one thing, even if her plan worked, Mr. Naegi would just tell everyone they'd switched rooms.
I don't know. I'm not sure our soft-hearted Makoto is capable of that kind of cutthroat behavior. I'm sure Sayaka realized the same thing, which is why out of all of us, she asked him to switch rooms.
Plus, she was the ultimate pop sensation. A totally forgettable kid. Or a national superstar. Who are you more likely to believe?
Wait, then you're saying she had this all planned out?
All the evidence points to that.
Holy shit!
But in the end, her plan backfired. She launched her attack with the knife, then found herself under attack in turn. That must be when her wrist got broken, and she was forced to drop the knife.
The tables were suddenly turned on her, and she died at the hands of the one she planned to murder.
Just hold on! That can't be true!
Does the painting's facial expressions change?
Because...
Or...
Because...
Hey! You guys have totally derailed the argument! You're being super boring right now. Come on, hurry up and decide who did it. Wouldn't it be awful if I had to punish you all just because you ran out of time?
In the real world, trials could take weeks to a month. Or more.
Oh yeah, we gotta decide who we think did
But
it.
obviously, this is different. This is different. Completely different situation.
Makoto, right now you just need to concentrate on figuring out the answer to this mystery. If we can't uncover who murdered Sayaka, it's over for all of us.
Is it really over? Obviously, I'm committed to find out who killed her, but what can I do? I mean, as far as clues go, there's nothing left. Make your argument. Dying message.
It's easy just to say, hey, decide who did it. But there just aren't any more clues, right?
No, it's wrong.
I pressed the Q button to make sure I had any evidence.
There still might be one clue left. Sayaka's dying message.
Dining? Wait, what did you say?
The dying message. She wrote something on the wall behind her, remember? 11037. Written in her own blood. There must be a clue about the killer hidden in there.
Well, before we get too far into that, I need to ask. Can we really be sure that Sayaka is the one who wrote it?
Her index finger.
I got it! Her left index finger had blood on it. That could only be because she used that finger to write the message.
I see. She broke her right wrist during the fight, so she'd have to use her left hand to write.
Sure, I think we can all agree Sayaka wrote it. But still, what the heck do those numbers mean?
Hey, Chihiro. You're a computer nerd or whatever, right? You should know all about numbers and shit.
No, that's not... Yes, I'm a programmer, but I don't see any kind of meaning in these numbers.
Of course. It's because they're not numbers.
Oh, yeah, it looks like...
Huh? What? What?
No, it's just... look at the numbers, assuming they're not numbers. Don't these first two, 1-1, look less like two numbers and more like one letter?
And...
You're right. The connecting line is barely there, so I assumed it was 1-1, but looking at it now, you could also read it as an N.
Whoa, you might have finally just said something worth a shit.
Our little gray cells are really getting excited now.
Wow. But even if that really is an N037, doesn't make any more sense than before.
Damn it, it's no use. I just don't know.
Rotate the image 180 degrees.
Huh? Rotate it. I think maybe I see something.
Oh my god. Now I see. She wrote down the killer's name.
Huh? You just shot past the clue part and right onto who did it.
So, whose name did she write?
Turn it to be crystal clear. I think it's obvious.
Here's my answer. The key to solving this mystery was simply to rotate the writing 180 degrees. If you turn the message around, it becomes the letters L-E-O-N.
Leon.
L-E-O-N. Or more accurately, Leon.
What the hell are you talking about? It's just a coincidence. It's just a bunch of random squiggles that happen to look like my name.
It doesn't seem random.
It's not random at all. She wrote that message on the wall behind her as she was leaning up against it. In that position, she couldn't move to write normally, and had to write upside down, as it were. And as a result, when you look at it standing in front of her, it ends up getting flipped. Try it for yourself if you want. Write something sitting like her, and the letters will be inverted.
That sounds like one hell of a stretch to me. I'm the killer? You can't just go and say shit like that.
If you're not the killer, then why did you try to destroy the evidence?
Huh?
Uh-oh.
You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The evidence Leon tried to get rid of?
What evidence was she trying to get rid of? Where is it? Burning shirt.
I got it!
You mean the burnt shirt piece I found laying on the ground by the incinerator, right?
Yep. This is taking longer than I
As the
expected.
killer stabbed Sayaka, they must have gotten some of her blood on them. And to dispose of the shirt covered in the victim's blood, they threw it into the incinerator.
But one piece burned off and got left behind.
And the killer didn't notice. If they had, they most certainly would have panicked. Isn't that right, Leon?
Yep.
But is one scrap of fabric enough to conclude that Leon is guilty?
Yeah, I mean, Leon's not the only one wearing a white button-up.
Yep.
That's right. There are plenty of other people here with shirts like mine. With just that one little charred piece, there's no way you can say for sure who it belongs to.
You're right. That alone isn't enough. But there are some other points that may reveal the truth.
Yeah.
Are you finally starting to understand? The answers to all the riddles are right here.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep. The bird remains of the button-up shirt which the killer wasn't able to get rid of. There's something... How?
I got it!
If you look closely at how the shirt was disposed of, we should be able to figure out who the killer is.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I think I know what you're gonna say. You can't reach the incinerator without opening the gate in front of the trash room, right?
Yeah.
And obviously, you wouldn't be able to hit the switch to turn it on either. You'd need the key to get in, and the one with the key was the person on cleaning duty.
Yep.
So the killer had to be whoever was in charge of taking care of the trash, right?
That sounds like Sonic.
Interesting.
Because that was he to me. No, that's wrong. There was another way to use the incinerator without being the one on cleaning duty. And that's exactly what proves that Leon is the real killer. Here's bullet time. Shattered crystal ball.
The key to the trash room. Whoever was on cleaning duty must have had it, right?
So the only one who could get to the incinerator was the person in charge of the trash?
And you'd have to get close to the incinerator.
No.
No, that's wrong.
It seems like the crystal ball was thrown. Because it was near the thing.
Hold on.
The buttons and it was
I think I know how
broken.
someone could dispose of the evidence without using the trash room key.
Yeah.
But if you can't get past the gate, you couldn't possibly turn on the incinerator, could you?
Yeah.
Yes, you could. If you used this.
What is it, some kind of glass ball? It's busted to hell.
Actually, it was supposed to be a crystal ball, but,
But how would you use it?
They threw it.
I got it!
Because it's
The
broken.
killer simply took aim at the incinerator switch and threw the ball through a gap in the gate.
Yep.
All they had to do was hit that switch, and the incinerator would come to life.
Someone threw a gap in the gate?
Yeah.
Remember what you said before, Hifumi?
Huh? Someone turned the incinerator on? Very strange. I'm quite certain it was off last time I was down here. Perhaps it was the work of a fairy.
Hifumi had the key, so the only way the incinerator could have been turned on without his knowledge was because the killer was able to hit the switch without opening the gate. Once they'd gotten the incinerator going, All they had to do was ball up the shirt and toss it in.
Yeah.
Hey, come on! What the hell is this?
All you have to do is look at the scene to know that the killer never actually went inside the trash room. The shards of broken glass, the incinerator left running, the piece of shirt that escaped the fire. If the killer had been on cleaning duty, the evidence would have been taken care of much more thoroughly.
Yep.
Wait, no, just hold on.
Now he's breaking.
But the distance from the gate to the incinerator has to be at least 30 feet, right?
Yep.
The pinpoint accuracy you'd need to throw a glass ball that far and hit something that small.
Chihiro sounds like Dreamcast era Tales.
Could someone really do that?
That's right. There's no way. It'd be impossible.
Difficult, absolutely. Impossible? I don't think so. Because the killer is...
Ultimate baseball star.
I got it!
Because you threw it.
Because the killer is the ultimate baseball star. Isn't that right, Leon?
Do you have any idea how stupid you sound right now?
A target 30 feet away would surely be little challenge for the ultimate baseball star.
Yeah.
You can't be serious. I'm not the killer!
Yep. He's breaking. It's clear.
These goddamn shipper brains have got it all wrong, I'm telling you!
You still won't admit it? Okay then. Makoto, go ahead and review the incident one more time to make his crime perfectly clear.
Okay.
And with that, we can end this.
Oh, this is the final part.
Listen to me! What the hell do you mean, end this?
Say what you want, Leon. But all the questions have been answered. And the truth has been revealed. Now here's what happened.
The closing argument is about to begin. Would you want to hear more? Absolutely. Every case has one last element to bring the class trial to an end. This is the closing argument. In this phase, you'll give a complete summary of the case. You have to reproduce the flow of events for the case in form of a comic book. However, you'll notice that the comic book there are can't read. However, you'll notice that in the comic, there are a number of pieces missing. It's up to you to complete the comic using the provided truth panels. If you take aim at a missing section, press the left mouse button. Holy cow, you'll get a hint that might lead to a breakthrough, and have fun. Okay. So... she tries to defend herself. So first, she invited the killer. Wait, no, this is wrong. Okay. First, she invited the killer, and she tried to attack with the weapon, and he tried to block his first. She broke her wrist. Oh, there's more. Okay. Let's look at this backwards. opened the door. And killed Sayaka. And he went to the exit. Wait, no. I got it. First, he was invited to the room when Sayaka planned the attack.